Hi, I have compiled all the materials and notes and everything for tomorrow evening's courses. Tomorrow evening's course is gonna happen. Let me see. Okay, I mark it down in calendar. It's for Capstone tool tracking course. I'm gonna touch upon the 1-day 2K, 3-day 3 cases in Capstone 2 week 1. So the live course is gonna happen tomorrow. PST 6 p.m. is a 2.5 hour course. So it's gonna start at 9 p.m. EST. I know it's pretty late for Toronto students, but I'm gonna have recording anyways. And I'm gonna put up the recording so that you can always watch the recording afterwards. So if you want to register for the course or watch the recording afterwards, you can just go to my website, and then here is PEP Pathway. Click Common Final Exam CFE, and it's right here, Elcar, Lulip, Freemont, and TinyCo. So here are all the materials I have prepared. I'm gonna put the webinar recording right here. And then for Elcar case, this is the course material for variance analysis. In Elcar's case, they test you for basic variance. It's a direct material variance. So I use senior high school biology concept, variant control, to tell you a special recipe for variance analysis. I'm gonna tell you where most of the time the student's gonna make mistake. Here, like standard quantity. I'm gonna definitely go into more details tomorrow, okay? And then I know you're gonna have the solution from CPA, but what's better about my solution? I put the drafted paper on the right-hand side. So I tell you that during an exam environment using my recipe, this is what you should type down on your drafted paper, and then you move it to a prettier format on the left-hand side of your spreadsheet, and then you delete your drafted paper. So that you're only gonna present this to your marker. This is the Excel spreadsheet, and this is about IFRS 15 revenue recognition. Step 1, how to identify the contract. And step 2, identify distinct performance obligations. How? 2 parts. And then step 3 is easier, is determine the transaction price. And step 4 is allocate the transaction price to performance obligation. And then step 5, when control is passed, I give you the most rigid template. So if you want to do it the hard way, then how are you going to write this step? But in this case, I don't think you have to, because this is like way too overkill. So I'll say you just write this. This is a simplified template for you. I'm going to give you all of these. And then about provision. So first, I go through the definition, because usually students cannot have trouble distinguishing provision and contingent liability. Both concepts exist under IFRS, but they're totally different. Usually in CFE case, they test you for provision, not contingent liability. And then I tell you what is provision. Provision is a special type of liability. It is included in the concept of liability, but contingent liability, this concept is in parallel with liability under IFRS. I'm gonna touch upon that in more details tomorrow. And then how are you gonna write? So there are all different types of provision. In the Elcar case, they test you about onerous contract, and they also test you about decommissioning obligation. So how to write onerous contract? Onerous contract has another special definition under IFRS, and the merriment is also a little bit different compared to other provision. And what about decommissioning obligation? There's also something special about decommissioning obligation. I'm gonna add all these and elaborate during my session. So it is called asset retirement obligation under ASPE, but however, it is called decommissioning obligation under IFRS. And this is the case writing template for you. So all the black parts are the template, the skeleton portion of the case writing template, and all the blue part inside the bracket and the underlined, these are the case fact you're gonna throw into. This is, I told you here, you're gonna throw into the case fact, okay? And then this is the technical summary for foreign currency transaction, all of them. And then what about TinyCo? So I provide you a qualitative discussion summary sheet. For all the common financing options, I provide common qualitative discussion points. this is a very this is a very complete like qualitative discussion summary sheet. It's good to have, okay? And then note for SWOT analysis, detailed notes and case writing template for SWOT analysis. And then how to write procedures. They didn't test you for assurance substantive procedures for financial statement accounts, but they test you for some like special procedures over something special. But I think the concept, like the train of thought is basically the same about how to write procedures. And what about this? Government assistance, this is the case writing flow. So you first go through the definition of forgivable loan, if it is a forgivable loan, and then whether the specific criteria for forgiveness have been listed out in the case. And then what is the purpose of the grant, and what whether it is to cover expense outlay or it is for capital expenditure, and whether it is for future or current expense, whether you're going to use the gross method or net method, and what is the adjusting journal entry, what is the impact on financial statements, and what about if there's potential repayment. I'm going to go through all these tomorrow. And this is about moving expense. So where is moving expense located? This is the general Canadian tax structure. So I'm going to tell you that moving expense is in Division B netting for tax purpose. It's the other deduction under personal tax Division B. And then first you talk about the eligibility, and then you talk about, like, you do the calculation, which expense are eligible moving expense and which are not. I recommend you to memorize all the ineligible moving expenses. Then this is the case writing template for you. I also have the Excel spreadsheet for all of those. It's just in this website, they don't allow me to upload Excel spreadsheet, but in my session, I'll show you all the Excel calculation spreadsheet. And then this is TinyCo. And what about the Fairmont Healthcare Center? Okay, this is about internal control weaknesses and control testing. And then this is the technical summary for ASNPO. ASNPO contribution of funds, deferral method, restricted fund method. There are 3 types of contributions: unrestricted contributions, aka general contributions, restricted contributions, and endowment contributions. I'm going to go over what those 3 types are and then how they are treated either under deferral method and restricted fund method. This is the technical summary. And then what about contribution of goods, services, or capital asset? This is the technical overview, and I also provide you with the case writing template. So ASNPO has been tested twice under in CFE. Day 3, once 2019 day 3, Still Good Food, and once 2023 day 3, Fremont Community Health Center. So I add all the relevant handbook criteria, handbook section here. And then I also provide you clear and streamlined flowchart so that when you encounter this type of AO, you know where to go, you know what to write down, okay? So the last case, this is management accounting about limited resource or scarce resource type of calculation. I'm going to show you the Excel spreadsheet in my session. So this is GST compliance summary. So all you need to know about GST compliance is right here. If you have this GST compliance summary and you memorize, I'll basically say everything on this page, then you're good for your exam, absolutely good. So this is very complete, GST compliance summary. This corporate tax compliance summary is complete as well. Okay, you can zoom it up, you know. You can like zoom it up, all this. Okay, you can zoom it up, but it's just, okay. This is my notes about risk of material misstatement, RMM. And this is my 1-page summary about approach and materiality. You can always zoom up the material. And then this is a 1-page summary, but I also have detailed step-by-step elaboration right here, materiality. And then this one is about approach. Okay, how to write approach. So welcome to my session tomorrow. And you're gonna have free access to all those materials I just showed you. Okay, see you tomorrow, bye.